Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's April 22nd, 2022, and this pick right here of Machinist tools, I would characterize this as the first mega pick of 2022. This is a pretty large haul of Machinist tools. This is something that I just kind of lucked out on. Ended up seeing some some gauge pin sets on Facebook, and he just had the ad showing not a lot in the picture, but I could see some other Starrett boxes. Reached out to this gentleman and ended up finding out that he had quite a few other things. So we made an arrangement for him to come out and take a look at what he had. And when I got there, I was very pleased to see that he had set some tables out, and he started to drag out everything that he had that was Machinist related to unload it. The story goes that he had closed his business about 20 years ago and had taken everything that they hadn't sold off at that point and kind of just hauled it out to the house and stored it. Some of the stuff was stored in the barn, and a lot of this stuff has surface rust on it. But I don't care, because some of the prices I've got were just so crazy I just couldn't resist. Case in point, he had some of these. This is, what do we got? 2, 4, 6, 7... 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 of these Starrett 436 P-2 micrometers. These are supposed to be regular outside 1 to 2 inch micrometers. And what they are is they've been modified and ground to a point. So they're almost like pitch micrometers now. And the business that he had required them to do inspection work on these blades on turbines. But long story short is he had a ton of these. Along with that, he also had these two Mitutoyos, but these are 112-189 Mitutoyos. So these actually are supposed to have points on them, carbide tip points to be exact. So these are a little bit different. These are not something that was modified, untouched, no cases. This one is another one of these, but I grabbed this case because earlier on I had picked some stuff and there was a radius gauge set. So this is the box for the radius gauge set that's coming up. Some of these have an unusual little accessory on them that I don't know anything about. So some of them are like this. So they have this little sleeve slit on here. There's an Allen screw, so that can be removed easily enough. But what that does is that gives you an automatic depth stop so that you can slide this onto the edge of the blade and take a measurement at a very specific distance in from the edge, I guess. And as if that wasn't enough, all of these are also the same. They're 436s that have been reground to points. Some of them you can see have a lot more surface rust than others. I haven't even figured out how I'm going to handle selling these yet. But I'm probably into the whole lot for about $5 per. So we'll see how I make out on this. Who knows? Alright, let's see what's in the next group here. We've got a Starrett depth micrometer. This has got a modified foot. So it's just this is for like getting tight into an area. So occasionally it's actually a handy thing to have. I didn't pay a lot for this, but it does have all 6 rods, which is nice. So it's a 0 to 6 set. This one, the case is in much better shape. This one is this is only a 0 to 3, but it's in excellent shape. This is a set of genuine Mitutoyo V-blocks, a little bit of surface rust on them. This one is still in its original shipping goop or whatever to keep it from getting corroded. So once that's peeled off, that one will be probably pretty close to mint. These are a set of genuine Mitutoyo 1, 2, 3 blocks. Here's another point micrometer. This is like the Mitutoyo, where it's got the really sharp needle-like points to it, and this is not something that was reground that way. This came this way from the factory, and this is a Fowler. It's in a little bit rough shape, but you know, and it looks like the ratcheting mechanism's broken on that one. couple of surface gauges with some pretty heavy rust on them. This, I don't remember what's in here. This is a import micrometer. This is a 10th micrometer. I think this is going to be one of these ones that was made in Poland, maybe. And by the looks of the box, this is going to be the... Oh yeah, there it is right there. Here's the sticker, Viz, made in Poland. So it's actually a pretty decent quality for an import. Viz. Looks like the standard's never been used on that one. And then he had 4 of these ball-tipped micrometers. Again, these are just, I think these are just 436s that are modified. That's a 436 that's been modified with a ball tip. Yeah, moving right along. These are the last, I think these are the last 2 micrometers. And they're pretty beat, junky, but I think he threw these in for free. That one's actually got a good ratchet on it though, so might be able to take the ratchet off of that one, fix up another one. That's an early Starrett. Can't tell who the heck makes that one. Don't really care. Starrett scale. Yeah, it's a little radius gauge set. You just make out made in the USA, and that's about it. This is actually, by the looks of it, a pitch micrometer that they had a stop mounted here. This one is it's just marked Starrett over here, and then right here just says special. So interesting little micrometer. This is an old Federal clamp. Okay, that'll probably clean up. These are kind of neat. These are feeler gauge sets. Huge, extra long for reaching in. 2 used ones, and this one looks brand new in the box. Oh, and got this little Armstrong wrench. And here's a snug for on a height gauge or something along that lines. So here's that Fuji brand import set, radius gauge set that he had. Saw in one of the boxes with junk he had there, he just had all of these random radius gauges, and he let me just take those too. I figured in case there was anything missing out of here. Now I look at it and it's like, he had a mishmash of stuff here. That one's a no name, that's a Fowler. These are all Starretts. These are all Fujis. And these all are Mitutoyos. And now I'm looking at this and I'm wondering, because I see a Fowler in there.
So what led me to reach out and contact this guy was the fact that I could see these Starrett boxes in the photograph of the gauge pins that he was advertising. And that's what led me to contacting him in hopes that he had more stuff. Ironically, when I got out there, I got all this other great stuff, but the actual stuff that lured me there was not what I was hoping. All of these Starrett boxes are all feeler gauge stock reels of it. Look at that, the sign of the beast, 666. The dash number after it must be the thickness. So these are originally when they're new, they were 25-foot reels. So I'm going to guess that like the dash 4 is 4 thousandths thickness. So I don't know whether or not they still even offer, yeah, 0.004 right there. I don't know if they even still offer this stuff this way. These neat plastic holders. So the question is, how much is in here? Well, you can actually look through the window and you can actually see what's left. So I mean, if that was completely full, that would be probably a lot more than 25 feet, I think. I don't know. Might be wrong. So it's kind of hard to tell. I'm going to end up just selling these because if I kept all this, this would be enough feeler gauge stock to last me a lifetime. So I got 6 boxes of genuine Starrett, and then he threw in what else was there. I bought this all as one lot. There were these 2. It's definitely feeler gauge stock. Again, you can see there's still quite a bit left in this reel. This one's not so much. I have no idea what the branding is on these. Then there's these big reels. Oh, okay, this one's marked This one's K-Star. This is 19 thousandths. This is Precision brand. New old stock, 1/2 inch wide, made in the USA. Completely unopened. This is 18 thousandths. This is a 25-foot reel. This is K-Star Incorporated, Racine, Wisconsin. So you get the gist of it.
So I ended up buying all of the indicators that he had there. Let's start with the less stellar, downright craptacular stuff first. This stuff has everything going for it. Rust, dirt, you name it. So let's see. This is I think it's a Mitutoyo underneath all this. Oh, this is a sheer Tomiko. So you can see it's got some surface rust on the stem, but it actually still works perfectly fine. He had some indicators mounted in these unique bases, and he even had some of the bases without any indicators in them. He threw those in. I think I'll have a little as-is indicator sale. That's kind of a neat one. Kind of a neat face on that one. It's our old friends BC Ames right here in Massachusetts. Alright, cleaned up a few of these. And then move them out of the way and look at what's left. So this is an early Starrett. It's got that interesting little loop on the back side of the needle, and you can just tell by the printing on it and everything that that's a really early one. It also shows the resolution as a fractional. It's 1/1000 inches. This Mitutoyo is probably the only one that I didn't have to clean. It's working perfectly. This Mitutoyo, actually I don't think I cleaned this one either. It's also working perfectly. And this Mitutoyo. All these Mitutoyos seem to be working great. And then this is kind of neat. I've never seen one of these before. It's a larger dial for one thing, which makes it a little bit unusual. But the main thing that makes it unusual is it's badged Craftsman. I don't think I've ever had a Craftsman indicator. Unfortunately, it is completely frozen. It does not want to budge. This was so dirty I couldn't even see it at all. But the big problem is, like I said, it's frozen. I don't know whether or not that's just going to be an issue right here at the stem where there's rust clearly present, or if we've got something internal going on. I might spend a little time with that one just to see if I can get it to move again, because that's kind of a neat one. And these other indicators that he had in here, they're all these miniature versions of Starrett's, the little itty bitty ones. They got like the 1-inch dials on them. And he wasn't sure, but he thinks the reason why these are all in these bags in here with that is that these were all sent out and serviced, and they came back from being serviced and weren't put back into use. And I tend to think he might be right. These look like they have brand new crystals on them. So these are kind of neat little miniature Starrett's. I think mostly Starrett's, and then I think there is, yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Starrett's and 1 Federal. That's even got like a plastic protective sleeve on it. That's still like in its sealed little pouch. They're a little sticky from sitting, but they're working fine. So those are kind of neat. I'll probably keep one of these for myself, sell the rest.